Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand. Gentlemen, please remove your hats to honor our nation and its flag by joining the Cash's Trojan Band and Senior Chorus in the singing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, and the Chambersburg High School song.
Chambersburg High, fair Chambersburg High, to honor thee I'll always try. May never act of mine bring shame to dim the brightness of thy name. Chambersburg High, fair Chambersburg High, all hail to thee will faithful stay. I'm trying to serve thee every day. Chambersburg, fair Chambersburg High.
Please be seated. Good evening, parents, grandparents, family and friends, school board members, Chambersburg Area School District staff, and the class of 2020. Class of 2020, what a ride this has been. Who would have ever imagined an invisible virus would keep us from ending our school face-to-face as traditionally completed in the past? We have no doubt that these unprecedented times have taught us all more about life than we would have ever learned if things would have concluded in a traditional way. During your 4 years of schooling at Cash's, you have accomplished many great things. To name a few, you challenged what some would say were unbeatable, like Harrisburg or Cumberland Valley, and defeated them more than once in a row. You not only became commissioned as a Navy JROTC, but led this program to be the most improved on the entire East Coast. That's right, you survived 3 school fires and the effects of social media. You also built the largest school marching band in history, 221 strong, and had numerous musical accolades. You created a GoFund page, raising more than $5,000 to support local heroes in the community. That's right, the class of 2020, together earned and received over $2.25 million in academic scholarships and monetary awards. Who would have imagined that all these life lessons and experiences would have prepared you to do the following? To deal with limited but essential resources, like toilet paper, hand sanitizers, and cleaning agents. Would have developed patience, longer lines at the grocery store, dealing with others not understanding an email or getting into a Zoom meeting due to technical difficulties. To grow closer with those we live with daily due to social distancing and lockdown modes. Wear masks in public and understand the importance of 3 colors, red, yellow, and green, as they relate to the pandemic. You simply have gained an understanding of why things are the way they are. Not always easy to understand, but each life experience brings us closer to being prepared. However, what we hope you learn most is to never take what you currently have for granted. As you have witnessed and experienced, life can change quickly. Live in the now and always prepare for the future. No matter what this school year has taken from you, there's one thing it cannot, and that is your part in the class of 2020. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Cody Marker, the class of 2020 Assistant Principal.
Thank you, everyone, for listening tonight as we honor our Chambersburg area senior high school class of 2020 graduates in taking their next steps into the future. Parents, grandparents, family members, neighbors, teachers, counselors, and friends, your support for this class has helped allow these individuals to not only succeed, but guide them in a positive direction for their future yet to come. For that, thank you. None of us would be in the position we are today without the help of others. Seniors, as you reflect on the individuals who have helped you get where you are, please reach out and let them know the impact that they have left on you. To the class of 2020, take a moment to take it all in. Your day has officially arrived. Everything you have worked so hard for over the past 4 years has brought you to this moment right here and now. Each and every one of you took your own individual path to get here. You were met with challenges and struggles along the way, but you pushed through. You persevered through all the obstacles, and because of it, today you will walk across this stage and receive something no one can ever take away from you. Today you will officially receive a Chambersburg area senior high school diploma. For that, congratulations. I can't begin to tell you enough how proud I am to watch each one of you walk across this stage. As a testament to your class, I feel obligated to share with you what was shared with me when I first came to Cassius. After being assigned as grade 12 principal, I had numerous conversations with Mr. McNew, Mrs. Leonard, Mr. Zimmerman, and countless teachers from around the district. All of them consistently said one common thing: the class of 2020 is fantastic. The sense of knowing I was going to be working with a great class was a positive impact for me, and I was excited for the opportunity. As the year started and progressed, I slowly got to know many of you. From day one, you blew me away, as many of you approached me to shake my hand and introduce yourselves. In our many conversations, we talked about your goals after high school, your current life challenges, and your successes and failures. You displayed respect for yourselves and others, and displayed a determination to reach the finish line. Each interaction slowly drove home the point that everyone had told me. During the fall and winter months, as many of you were accomplishing great things, not only in the classroom, but outside of it. Students all through the class of 2020 were being acknowledged with accolades for success in band, NGROTC, and on the athletic fields. Many students were awarded scholarships, and others were thriving in work placement programs that were leaving them with the possibility of full-time jobs after high school. And then Corona hit us. The many things we were looking forward to in the spring were no more. Prom was canceled, spring activities were canceled, graduation was postponed, and even things like Decision Day and Color Day didn't happen as we expected. Instead of focusing on marking period 4, we were faced with making sure we had toilet paper at home and masks to wear in public. Life as we knew it had changed. But you, my friends, the class of 2020, took it on the chin and rolled with it. Students sent in amazing enrichment projects, took part in virtual events such as Color Day, and even posted videos on our Class of 2020 Instagram page discussing your future plans. And for me, the most exciting thing was seeing many of you flood the school parking lot in your cars on your original graduation night to celebrate as the community honored you. As unprecedented and tough of a time as it was and still is, you stayed tough, you persevered. As you walk across this stage tonight and get ready to take the next step in your life, I have one final piece of advice. Taking the next step may be at times scary. It may not work out as you originally planned. And like graduating high school, obstacles will certainly get in the way. But when those times come, remember what you've already been through, take it on the chin, embrace the change, and persevere. You can and will succeed. As I conclude my thoughts, I wanted to share a final quote Mr. McNew and Mrs. Leonard had written to you, as I feel they summed it up perfectly. And now, here we are. You are on the cusp of doing great things. You are better than you think you are. You are stronger than you think you can ever be. You will be awesome. You are awesome. You are amazing and will do great things in life that you've never dreamed. You will change the world. Class of 2020, congratulations and best of luck. I know you will make us proud. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the Class of 2020 President, Sydney Schmoose. Sydney is the daughter of Jim and Marcia Schmoose. While attending Cassius, Sydney was Student Council President for 3 years, Student Council Vice President, member of the National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society, Chemistry Club, and Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Sydney was also a 2-time team captain of the varsity girls basketball team. After school, Sydney volunteers at the Diaper Devo, Girls on the Run, plays AAU travel basketball, and is employed at Pet Store. After graduation, Sydney plans to attend Susquehanna University to major in public policy with a major in political science, and will be playing on their women's basketball team. Sydney.
Most graduation speeches, mine included, talk about seizing the day, not squandering a moment, living in the minute. Before March 13th, those were all ideas that I assumed I believed in. They made sense. They were inspiring. But now, months into the COVID-19 pandemic, they are no longer ideas to me, but rather undeniable truths. One day, you will wake up and life as you know it may be changed again. And if so, it will be easier to cope if you know that you used the days prior to that change well. Did you use your hours at Cassius well? Did you fill your brain with new ideas alongside Mr. Ambrosio, your heart with memories at Color Day? Did you spread kindness, cheer on a friend as the Cassius crazy, enjoy a world's best Cassius Cafeteria mashed potato bowl, contribute to a cause like Mini-thon or Special Olympics? Did you do what you could do when you could do it? We are all given a limited number of hours. My greatest advice to you is to use them to contribute, to take action now, not letting another hour slip away. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own voice. Be heard, be seen. We can't all be Charlie D'Amelio, but we can all be someone's hero. Plant a tree, adopt a pet, volunteer, befriend a loner, create art or poetry, fight for human rights. All of these things are within our realm of doing. We are all capable of identifying what makes us unique and sharing it with the world. I would like to share a short story with you about a man who was passing some elephants. He suddenly stopped, confused by the fact that these huge creatures were being held by only a small rope tied to their front leg. No chains, no cages. It was obvious that the elephants could break away from their bonds, but for some reason they did not. He asked a trainer nearby why these animals just stood there and made no attempt to get away. Well, the trainer said, when they're very young and much smaller, we use the same size rope to tie them, and at that age, it's enough to hold them. As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe they cannot break away. They believe the rope can still hold them, so they never try to break free. The man was amazed. These animals could, at any time, break free from their bonds, but because they believed they couldn't, they were stuck right where they were. How often are we like the elephants in the story? How often do we have mental ropes around our legs that are holding us back from trying? Sometimes it stems from having been told we aren't capable of something. Other times it comes from having tried once and failed at something, and now we are convinced that we just can't do it. All we see is that rope around our leg holding us in place. What we believe about ourselves is the most powerful thing in this world. We have a choice of what to believe. We can make the decision to break free from any perceived ropes that have been holding us back and go for the things we actually want. We just have to determine what those ropes are and cut them free. When your hours are up and you look back, will you be able to say confidently, I went for it. I made a difference. My hours in quarantine will not be forgotten. They were a catalyst to make me a better person, a person that realizes that one truly must seize the moment, savor the good, be thankful for the small things, and make every moment I am given worthwhile. Class of 2020, I challenge you to go forth and use the hours you've been given to make a mark on this world that we all share. Your life is your message to the world. Make it inspiring.
At this time, I would like to introduce Student Government President Rachel Beatty. Rachel is the daughter of George and Kathy Beatty. While attending Cassius, Rachel was a member of the National Honor Society, which included a community service project of knitting hats for babies in the hospital. Rachel is a creator of multiple blogs focused on mental health and the arts, and an associate of member of IB. After graduation, Rachel plans to attend Westchester University, where she will major in public health with a focus in policy, making, and management. Rachel also hopes to study abroad in order to learn more about global health. Rachel.
Good evening, parents, teachers, and my fellow graduates. It is such an honor to be able to speak to you all today on this notorious day, Graduation Day. The last day we are high school students, and the first day we are officially members of society. I know it is scary. It may even be scarier for our parents and teachers knowing that the generation that created the Tide Pod Challenge is officially going out into the world. Now, before I carry on to the next part of my very serious speech, I would like to apologize to several people. Miss Shuff, I apologize for forcing you to listen to me complain about my senioritis. Mr. O, or Senior O the Science Bro, I'm sorry for causing you to go into the fetal position multiple times. Finally, Mr. Weibel, I'm sorry that you had to grade my tests and use up so much of your red ink. Now that's out of the way, let's get to the more serious stuff. We, the class of 2020, are officially going out into the world, and high school, if I do say so myself, has taught us many lessons. One of those many lessons being that you should not create a Twitter account pretending to be a scary clown. We also learned that certain statements said towards the school can cause quite a few of us to leave school towards the middle of the day. And sitting outside for 2 hours in 90-degree heat while the school's on fire is no fun. Okay, I know those aren't very helpful life lessons, but they will stick with us forever, especially the fire. I know I will never sit in 90-degree heat for 2 hours again. However, there were some things that we learned that will stick with us for the rest of our lives. One of those lessons being that Cash is a very unique high school and was a little sneak peek into what the world was like. We learned that society is filled with all kinds of different people. There are people who come from different cultures, speak multiple languages, associate with other religions, and who view that white and gold dress as blue and black. I say it's gold and white, but you get the point. What I'm trying to say is that we are all different. We all have different views and values. However, we have to respect them. We have to accept each other's differences and just live life to the fullest. Life is too short to argue about the color of a dress. Just move on and treat each other as equals. One of the most important lessons that high school provided was to go after your dreams. I know it's extremely cheesy, but it's true. We all have goals and wishes we want to grant ourselves, and we deserve to do so. We all deserve to be happy and live our lives the way that we have always dreamt of having. Yes, there will be challenges, and it will take time to reach those dreams, but I know we can do it. We can all reach our goals. Each and every one of you can do anything you set your mind to. I know that for a fact because we survived the coronavirus, the scary clowns, and the fire. You can do anything, and as the icon Shia LaBeouf once said, just do it. However, there was one thing we learned this year that will stick with us for the rest of our lives. Life is precious, and it's important that we treat it as so. We as a society sometimes take that for granted, so do me a favor and savor each moment with your loved ones. Live in the moment and appreciate those around you. I know, class of 2020, that our last few moments together were taken away, but remember the great times we had together. Reminisce about Color Day, Homecoming, and all the other amazing days. Just be kind to one another and treat each day with care. And with that said, let me once again congratulate my fellow graduates on this amazing day. Guys, we did it, and the future is bright for all of us. Let's go, class of 2020.
I would like to now introduce the superintendent of the Chambersburg Area School District, Dr. Dion Betts. Dr. Betts.
Oh, I lost my space. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Chambersburg Area Senior High School Class of 2020 graduation. It is my honor and privilege to speak to you on this very important afternoon. Together, we will celebrate your accomplishments as you reach a milestone in your academic journey. As we come together on this momentous occasion, it's important to remember that you didn't get to this point alone. Whether you realize it or not, at every step in this journey, you were supported by others that saw your potential, your worth, and your ability to make a positive difference in this world. First, I would like to recognize the Chambersburg Area School District School Board members. This team of elected volunteers spent countless hours of service that directly impacted your education. To President Dr. Dana Baker, Vice President Mr. Kevin Mintz, who is with us today, Dr. Mark Schur, Mr. Carl Barton, Ms. Chris Scritchfield, Mr. Thomas Dolan, Mr. Edward Norcross, Mr. Michael Finucane, and Ms. Sally Brooks. We thank you for supporting these students. Thank you to Mr. Broadacker for his outstanding leadership and for hosting graduation today. We thank your school principals, administrators, teachers, and staff for investing in the most important resource in our community. Each one of you are future leaders. That's right. We also thank your parents, grandparents, guardians, relatives, and friends who were partners with us in your education, ensuring that learning continued outside of the classroom. Class of 2020, this diploma is a result of your hard work, grit, and perseverance. For most of you, tonight is the culmination of 13 years of formal education and over 2,000 days in the classroom. Although we are not all physically together, the method of our celebration in no way diminishes your accomplishments. No one, including myself, could have predicted that this graduation ceremony would need to be socially distanced, or that I'd be speaking to you via video rather than in person. It is, though, a great reminder of the difficulties you will face as you enter into a future full of unknowns. However certain you are of the plans that you have, whether that includes continuing your education in college or trade schools, or directly entering the workforce, the past few months have taught you a tough but important lesson. Life is unpredictable. It can be easy to look at the many challenges in our society today and lose hope. But change is coming to our community and our nation, and that change is you. Inside each of you is the ability to affect the people and institutions around you for the better. All it requires is perseverance and dedication to your dreams and what you know is right. To the class of 2020, I leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela, the South African anti-apartheid leader, who said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Whatever faces you in the future, whatever struggles you have, I hope you remember the lessons here in the Chambersburg Area School District, and that you believe in yourself and in your convictions. I speak for the school district, your teachers, administrators, family members, and friends when I say, we believe in you. Congratulations to the Chambersburg Area Senior High School Class of 2020. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the salutatorium, Caleb Gaiman. Caleb is the son of Rodney and Karen Gaiman. Caleb has been involved in National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society, leader of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and was a member of the soccer team and served as captain during his senior year. After graduation, Caleb plans to attend Chambersburg University to study biology with a concentration in pre-medicine with the hope to go on to medical school to become a doctor. Caleb. There you are.
Good evening, teachers, parents, relatives, friends, and fellow classmates. It is an honor to represent the Cassius Class of 2020 as your salutatorian. We are a class full of selfless individuals who strive for greatness. Our potential has no limits, and we will achieve greatness in each of our respected fields, whether it's directly entering the workforce, joining the military, or continuing our education at college. No matter what the title of the next chapter in each of our lives are, I'm confident that our class will prevail and make a lasting impact in the world. I would like to thank the Cassius administrators, principals, and teachers who have helped all of us for the past 4 years to get to the point where we are at right now. Specifically, I want to thank our incredible counselors, Mr. McNew and Mrs. Leonard. They are the best counselors a class could ever ask for. They truly care for every one of us and know us each by name. Additionally, I would like to thank our valedictorian of our senior class, Annalise Fleet, for being my study partner and friend for the past 4 years. Lastly, I want to thank the parents for helping all of us graduate and the class of 2020 for all the great friendships and memories that I have made. I think I can speak for all of us by saying that our high school careers did not end exactly the way we wanted or expected them to. The last 2.5 months of our senior year, the months we've been looking forward to for years, simply vanished before our eyes. Due to the unfortunate circumstances of the pandemic, we were told we would not be returning to school for the remainder of the school year. This was simply heartbreaking for many of us. We were told we would not experience senior color day, decision day, prom, and possibly not even have an in-person or live graduation. Although this was all upsetting news, the Cassius class of 2020, led by our president, Sidney Schmoose, proved our integrity and selflessness through starting a GoFundMe page to raise money to buy food for the frontline workers in our community. I believe that speaks volumes about how great our class truly is. I challenge all of you to take a moment tonight by yourself to reflect. Think about the simple, yet so meaningful privileges that we all have. Write a letter to someone you love or has made an impact in your life. Show people you're thankful for them. I think this pandemic has made us all have a greater appreciation for life. An appreciation for freedom, being able to hang out with friends, going out to eat, or simply attending school. Things that were so normal to us that we never realized how precious they were until they were taken away. Be grateful for the simple things. Be grateful for friends, family, and memories. Never take a moment in life for granted. And always, I mean always, live life to the fullest.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce the valedictorian for the class of 2020, Annalise Fleet. Annalise is the daughter of Hillary Fisher and Aaron Fleet. While at Cassius, Annalise was involved in Mu Alpha Theta National Honor Society, where she served as vice president. Spanish National Honor Society, served as treasurer, academic competition team, youth advisory board, field hockey, cross country, and marching and concert band. Annalise volunteers at the Chambersburg Hospital. And Go Girls Go. Annalise plans on attending the Honors College at the University of Pittsburgh with an undecided major. Annalise. There you go.
Good afternoon to those live streaming the weirdest graduation you've probably ever seen. After weeks of delay, the day that I never thought would come came. I had to rewrite some of my speech because my jokes about the weather wouldn't make much sense to those sitting at home. Now to the graduates watching this, or not watching this, I don't know if you know me because our school is really big, but I'm Annalise. We went to high school together. I just want to give a big congratulations to everyone, including myself, for graduating high school despite the troubles we've faced in the past few months. Now I feel like I have to address the elephant in the field, COVID-19. Now I didn't imagine that our last day would be a 2-hour early dismissal halfway through March. However, I do not want to spend time talking about what was taken from us. Instead, I want to focus on our achievements as a class of 2020. It was only 4 years ago that we entered into the maze we call Cassius. Although, if you are a transfer student, count your blessings because you endured less time here. All jokes aside, Cassius really is a great school. From the incredible teachers, shout out to Schlabach, Dewald, and Hartung, to our incredible athletic programs, except the football team, and my amazing peers, especially my friend Caleb Gaiman, because even though we were rivals for the spot of valedictorian, we always helped each other out no matter what. I think this is representative of our class as a whole, because even though we may not always get along with each other, we celebrated victories, such as Color Day 2019, and as one. And that unity was what got us through our 4 years here. We started as nervous freshmen, transformed into timid sophomores, and then junior year came. SATs, ACTs, beginning to think about our future, all in 1 year. And on top of that, stage 1 senioritis began to set in. But we're here now, or at least I'm here now. We finally did it, guys. As Charles Dickens once said, it was the best times, it was the worst of times. We have survived midterms, finals, AP exams. We've enjoyed many color days, pep rallies, and theme nights at football and basketball games. We have survived the political turmoil of our country, climate change, the increasing price of college, as well as Auker's observations, all of which I'm sure have left deep scars. And now we move on to the next chapters of our lives, whether that be college, the military, or joining the workforce right away. Many of us will go on to do extraordinary things, but many of us will also find comfort in the peace of everyday life. The world tries to tell us that to be average means we failed, that we need to leave a legacy or our lives didn't matter. But I'm here to tell you guys that you can achieve greatness in the ordinary. If you leave people who you cross paths with a little more hope and a little more happiness, then you left the world a better place. Our time here at Cash's will not be remembered by our grades, popularity, or who had the best outfits at school, but by the memories we made with each other and the relationships we cultivated during our time here. Class of 2020, it has been real getting to know you guys, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you guys the very, very best. Thank you.
At this time, the senior class members of the Cash's Glee Club will now perform under the direction of Mrs. Elizabeth Stahl.
Searching to find the person I will be. Where will I go? What will I find? As I stand here, feeling tears, it's bittersweet. Am I ready for this day? As life moves on, your heart goes with me. Side by side we'll find the way, dare to hope, dare to dream. Keep on searching, find hope inside of you. You'll find what you believe. I am climbing, step by step I'm on my way to make a difference in my world. There is freedom that is growing in my heart as I learn to believe. As life moves on, your heart goes with me. Take the journey,
student speakers, thank you for your outstanding speeches and your words of wisdom today. Dr. Betts, Mr. Mintz, on behalf of the Chambersburg Area School District, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the 483 members of the class of 2020. They have fulfilled requirements that have been established for the various courses in which they were enrolled and are entitled to receive appropriate recognition. Now it is time for them to receive their diplomas.